Very good evening, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of MCCI, I heartily welcome all of you to this very special e-session on human transformation with blockchain ecosystem with Shri Prasanna Lohar, the Chief Innovation Officer of DCB Bank. We're extremely grateful to Shri Lohar for kindly accepting our invitation to address this session. Shri Lohar is a practicing innovation implementation and architecture orchestration at DCB Bank. He has over 17 years of industry experience in engineering and product development, organization strategy and governance, risk audit and compliance management, business process management, fintech, e-commerce, and business development. He has launched a global innovation program, the DCB Bank Innovation Carnival. He is associated with various fintech and blockchain forums in India to create a robust innovation ecosystem in India. Our world today is undeniably digital, with new technologies from social media to artificial intelligence and digital twins make the planet we inhabit unrecognizable from even 20 years ago. The digitalization in every sector has accelerated day by day. Blockchain, mostly known as the backbone technology behind Bitcoin, is one of the emerging technologies currently in the market, attracting a lot of attention from enterprises, startups, and media. It is encouraging to see that the government making a move to set up the national blockchain framework to prepare a centralized ecosystem that will cover as many as 44 sectors, including e-governance, and almost every sector from pharma and farming to education and energy, as Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology released a national strategy on blockchain. The move to leverage the potential of this emerging technology through a policy framework will bring India on par with countries like China, UAE, US, Brazil, Chile, Canada, Singapore, and Switzerland, which have already made big leaps in the blockchain space. This technology is going to be a game changer in the days to come. According to a Gartner report, many new innovative companies will use it, and at least one business created using this advanced technology would be worth $10 billion by 2022. By 2030, it could be used as a foundational technology for over 30% of the global customer base. It is reportedly known that by 2025, blockchain would add a business value that will grow to $176 billion. This is simply showing the unfolding potential of this new technology. We all know that blockchain is a technology that will store data in a decentralized, vigilant, time-stamped, immutable manner, providing an efficient ledger storage mechanism in a distributed environment. It is an especially promising and revolutionary technology because it helps reduce risk, stamps out fraud, and brings transparency in a scalable way for myriad users. From the private sector viewpoint, various companies are exploring blockchain to improve effectiveness and are trying to internally revisit their processes and workflows to add value to their service delivery mechanisms. 56% of Indian businesses are moving towards blockchain technology, making it a part of their core business. In the Union Budget 2022, the Government of India has proposed to issue a digital rupee managed by the RBI. The Central Bank Digital Currency (CBDC) will revolutionize the fintech sector by creating new opportunities and lessen the burden in handling and logistics management of cash, apart from making digital payments and online transfer of funds more secure. Sir, we are interested to understand whether this move would be easier to implement if blockchain technology is applied. With the adoption of this new technology, we cannot ignore its many challenges. The Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology has identified 5 areas of weakness in the technology: scalability, security, interoperability, data localization, and disposal of records. However, blockchain has remarkable growth potential for India, especially since the implementation requires software personnel, financial experts, as well as legal acumen, in turn creating job opportunities. Enterprises are exploring ways to utilize blockchain technologies in everything from finance to manufacturing. It is one of the many emerging technologies that is redefining the way companies do business. Sir, we are interested to understand how companies can use this to increase transparency, recognize issues within supply chain, and streamline industrial processes. With these few observations, I would now request Shri Lohar to enlighten us with his views on this very, very interesting and critical topic. Over to you, Mr. Lohar. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. Just a second. I'll just share my screen. Can you see the screen?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So I think thank you so much, Merchant Chamber of Commerce Industry and the whole forum. Today I'm going to talk about the technology called blockchain, right? For the next 30 minutes. What we have seen in form of a human life when internet came to our life, especially in India, 1995, and since then, if you have seen the whole the journey of human beings, right? So it's completely on internet now, right? The way we operate, the way we come out of homes, and the way we look at our mobile phones, we can't live without internet or mobile phones as of now. Most of our business models are on internet. We talk about any business processes, communication, the way we travel, everything requires internet. So what is the power of internet? Internet is a foundational technology, right? It's not like some disruptive technology like smartphones. Smartphone is a disruptive technology which comes on top of internet. Or you talk about websites, or you talk about any of those technologies which comes on top of internet, right? Similarly, blockchain is another wave of technology, is a foundational technology. So what does it mean? The way internet has given an age to our life, to human life, to operate, to work, to talk, communicate, transform, right? So similarly, blockchain will change the way we used to do on internet. What internet has provided a power to send value or some kind of a data from one location to another, but blockchain brings more value add there by creating a provenance layer or a trust layer, which is not there in the internet, right? What does it mean? Suppose you are ordering a food from Swiggy, right? Suppose you are buying something on a Paytm. You do not know from where you are buying food, or you do not know from which farm you are buying this particular appearance, right? From a Paytm or a Flipkart and so on. So what blockchain brings on, the way ecosystem will be designed, it gives a provenance. It gives a single source of truth from where the product has been created, right? And moreover, the complete journey, right? Say example, the food is being ordered at suppose 12 o'clock. From which ingredients, or suppose you are ordering apparel at today, so on which form, right? Which cotton is being utilized, right? What is a particular durability? So everything will be able to cater with the help of blockchain. Now start imagining what all new things will come on into our life as far as a blockchain is concerned. So let's deep dive, right? So every 20 years, something or the other thing comes in our life. Say example, if you see based upon internet, last 20 years, everything is on the internet. So what is the key? Adoption of new technology, keep on doing innovation on that technology, and collaboration with the right partners, right? On the right time. That is how we are how human has transformed, right? Now, if you look at this industry 1.0, 2, 3, 4, every industry revolution, right? Industry revolution has given us something or the other thing to the human beings, right? You talk about a 1.0 has some power about the creation of a power, right? Industry 2.0 is something all about your assembly lines, complete manufacturing automation, right? Industry 3.0 was some more about automation, computers, electronics, right? Chips. This is what we had seen. Now we are in mid, or we have already started industry 4.0, which is primarily depends upon your internet of things, blockchain, AI kind of a technology. And if you remove any of this industry revolution, humans cannot progress, right? If you have seen those house cars transformed into cars, right? Now these cars are getting transformed into smart cars, right? See, autonomous cars. So this is what today we are. And blockchain is a backbone of industry 4.0. If you see, internet was a backbone for industry 3.0, blockchain is a backbone for your industry 4.0. Today we use 2G, 3G, or a 4G kind of a smartphones. Tomorrow it will be 5G. Most of your transactions will be on wearables, Internet of Things. Today we are talking about various other technology like augmented reality, virtual reality. Facebook has renamed themselves as a Meta, right? Now, what does it mean? Your Internet 3.0 based technology, which was a Facebook or a Orkut, right? Now that is getting transformed onto Industry 4.0. And when we land up in Industry 4.0, we will need a very important aspect of our human life, which is called as a trust. And that trust can be given only by blockchain. That is why it's very, very important to say that human transformation is happening with the help of a blockchain-based ecosystem. So blockchain is not the only one technology which will give everything, right? It has to cohesively work with your mobile apps, your Internet of Things based devices. It has to cohesively work with the augmented reality, virtual reality on a customer side, this channel side, right? It has to cohesively work with the data. It has to cohesively work with the artificial intelligence. So combination of things, right? So combination of technologies will bring better industry 4.0. Now let's go back, right? The way we used to interact or communicate with the help of inland letter postcards. Many of you must be remembering, right? That we used to send postcards, money orders. Today, everything happens on WhatsApp, right? Google Pays, Phone Pays, you are able to send lots of money out there, right? I remember my days, my father used to send me letters or money through money orders in a late 2000 or late around 1995, 96. Now, this whole thing is changed today. And that is change is happening because of internet and so on, right? Now, while with this space, do you feel that in 2030 humans will be banking with no banks? Answer is yes. We do not need channels like mobile or internet banking in the 2030. Banking will be everywhere. Wherever we go, we'll be able to do transactions with the help of your biometrics. Banks will be there because those are regulated entities. Those are the governments, right? Those are governed by central bank. They will be there, but the way we will bank, it will be on marketplace bank. Wherever you go, you will be able to do banking on a Just Money, on Bank Bazaar, Pesa Bazaar, in the air, wherever you will go, you will be able to do those transactions, right? Because of what type of technology which we have seen in the industry 4.0. Now let's look at what is happening since last 10, 12 years around our life, right? Bitcoin, right? We keep on hearing crypto kind of a technology. Bitcoin came in, but idea for Bitcoin came in was because of to bring a better financial stability, right? Because banks were having problems and so on in 2008. And if you see overall of history of money, we started with some kind of currencies. First coin, first paper money in 2000 in 16th century by one bank in London. That's how our money has really transformed. The Bitcoin came with a view that they will do better banking, but ultimately what we are seeing today, Bitcoin is not at all being utilized for a banking, right? Although it is utilized for some other use case, trading, something which is not a good for any of those citizens living in India at least. Now, since then, there are 17,000 plus cryptocurrencies. I'm not sure for what purpose these cryptocurrencies are being utilized. But the backend technology, right, which is a blockchain technology, which is comprised of some of the phenomena like hashing or something like a smart contract, which brings on many more other waves of the transacting. So, Facebook come up with a Libra, renamed as a Dime, as a crypto, as a stable coin, right, which is backed by that particular country's asset. But eventually, that was also not by supported by regulation, so it has vanished. Rather, Facebook recently sold it off. That complete project closed it to some other bank, right? So now, while we look at this rise of the cryptocurrencies, NFTs, we talk about, parallelly there is another wave coming, which is a metaverse or a decentralized finance or NFTs. More or less, these are also not regulated. But now look at last 5-6 years, wherein a bank international settlement, right, which is one of the body which is cohesively working with the most of the central banks. RBI is one of the central bank, and what they are looking at, how we utilize blockchain kind of a technology to build a regulated currency, regulated digital currency. Say example, recently budget has announced, right, regulated digital currency will be digital rupee. Now there are a lot of challenges with the current paper money, right? Printing costs, managing costs, AML KYC, corruption, right? That these kind of things can be really waived off with the kind of a digital rupee. That is why blockchain is very, very important. So I can always say that UPI was a very good innovation last decade, right? Similarly, if India comes with the central bank digital currency, CBDC, or a digital rupee, will be one of those innovations which will ease out the life, right? Every human being, every citizen in India will be able to transact with the help of this digital currency. Instant payment, right? No settlement cost, no dispute cost. All these costs will be reduced and our GDP will grow. So that's a traction around cryptos and so on, right? And this is how we have moved our money, bartering, physical paper money, gold, cards, and so on. Furthermore, I'll not be surprised we'll have some kind of a wheat coin, some kind of a milk coin, and so on. So while we move in the next 2-3 years, there will be a lot of rise of mobility, IoT, and 5G. And this ecosystem will require a lot of trust. Now that trust eventually will bring in by blockchain. Now there are a lot of trends, right? More than 2 billion people in the world earn $2 to $3 a day, right? That is a paper money, right? And I think more than that, they don't have bank accounts. Now, if you bring on, right, Bitcoin gives them technology that anybody can download into wallet and start transacting, right? It happens immediately. Imagine we use same technology for all of the citizens, right, worldwide who don't have bank account. Automatically, our financial interest of the whole world goes to the next level, right? That's the power of technology. So I am slowly bringing you all you guys towards blockchain, how it is very important. There are some countries in the world who backed up some cryptocurrencies, but again, IMF, right, International Monetary Federation, they say, please do not use Bitcoin as a legal currency, because there are a lot of implication of the overall economy of the world, right? Now, I'll again take you back into 90s, where we have seen AOL, BlackBerry, Nokia, Yahoo, all these things were the best technology at that moment, right? When we saw these technologies, we thought Nokia never will go away. Yahoo will never go away. BlackBerry will be the only communication. But these technologies vanished. Why? Because these technologies never seen how technology is changing, how consumer is adopting mobility or internet, and all these business models vanished. That is why it's very important today in 2022, look at new technologies coming in, right? And adopt them immediately so that we can move ahead. These are those days people used to visit bank branches, right? Only for fund transfer, only for bank account opening, for balance inquiry. This was a rush, used to have a rush in the bank branches. But today, bank branches, hardly anybody going, right? Because everything happens on mobility. And tomorrow's world gonna be very different. So tomorrow will be with the Netflix, the way we have seen today Netflix. We can't live without Geo. We can't live without WhatsApp, Amazon's, GAFA, right? Google, Facebook, Amazon, and Apple. Similarly, tomorrow there is a new technology, right? This is blockchain and all, so we can't live without. So it is very important. Adopt as soon as possible. So organizations should look at how they should adopt blockchain kind of a technology so that their operations, every other business model goes to the next level. So this is a future of money and so on. So at the end of this communication, right? So what is that we are looking for, right? Most of the organizations, banks, everybody are looking for different things. What they are looking at, can you have a better assets, less of non-performing asset, customer onboarding should be simple, there should be very good digital culture, every process should be automated, right? Data security, right? Audit trails. There are new interfaces coming in tomorrow, like voice, like the way we talk to Alexas and Siris, right? There are a lot of fintechs are coming where we want to collaborate with the fintechs, right? There are a lot of manual processes in the banks. There are a lot of manual processes around human beings, right? And primarily, what is that we are looking at? How can we bring on a better data privacy? So these are our KRA. This is our mission. How can we create an organization which will need a lot of automation, a lot of transformation, better customer experience, and better security, right? So looking at this whole stuff, and today, although that is an aspiration, I spoke about 1 billion people hardly have a bank accounts, 3.2 billion people don't have Aadhaar like a digital identity, right? A digital identity. Similarly, if you go on to the social media sites, you talk about Facebook, Instagram, you don't have their button, right? On your Facebook or off your WhatsApp, there is no button like that. Once you are there, your data will be always utilized by somebody or the other thing. So that is why it's very important. How do you take care of data privacy? If you see the current challenges around ecosystem, like fraudulent digital identity documents, fraudulent, so many Aadhaar people do have, right? Which is then we have so many PAN cards, or there are a lot of fraud that happen on a passport, and these digital identity kind of instruments are very easy to duplicate. So tomorrow, if I bring a central digital identity, which is backed by a provenance system of blockchain, what is that it gives? It gives a more and more data privacy, data security, and people will not be able to do any frauds around these Aadhaar, PAN, and so on. So as a human being, there are a lot of business models. Say example, buying, selling property, or say example, we have to put that board, right? This property belongs to me, because we do not trust each other, right? That is how trust is needed. Bring on blockchain, right? So these are all our challenges. We don't know from which farm these food is coming in, then any accident happens, right? It takes time. It takes more than 7 days, primarily 3 days or more than 15 days to claim insurance, because there are multiple parties are involved. Insurance company, car manufacturer, your bank account, the whole manual process, paperwork. And tomorrow we need to remove this paperwork so that insurance claim should happen immediately in your bank account. There are other challenges. There are parallel economies like bitcoins or stable coins are coming in. They are creating decentralized finance, which is not regulated by RBIs. Security is a challenge. There are challenges on social media. Anybody can hack anybody's account. There are no sovereign or consent mechanism whenever you log in. As we move further, right? As we move further, our most of the business model are going to go on sharing economy. Automobile in form of Ola, Uber, Swiggy, Zomato, Yulu, workspaces, everything is going on share economy or marketplaces. And on marketplaces, there are multiple stakeholders. Say example, in Ola, driver car, Ola, these and the customer, they are the stakeholders, right? And everybody has to trust each other. This trust will be brought in on that internet-based system with the help of a blockchain. There are many more other challenges in front of us: frauds through SMSs, OTP frauds, digital identity frauds. Every organization wants to know who is my customer. Is it really good? Is it really good? You will not be an NPA customer. Similarly, customer wants to know whether the bank is good, whether it is a good doctor, whether it is a good healthcare system. So everywhere, what is that we need is a trust. And what blockchain brings that attention, that I will provide a trust. I will improve your productivity on internet. I will allow simple collaboration with all the stakeholders. It reduces the intermediaries. Say example, MasterCard, Visa, right? These are intermediaries. Ola, Uber, why do we require them when I can directly do the transaction with the driver? I can directly do the transaction with the bank. How do I need intermediate? Intermediates are created by us, and tomorrow blockchain comes, says that we do not need intermediaries, and it increases trust between all the participants into that ecosystem. Say example, if I take you back to that insurance claim process, if all the parties are on same chain, same system, the transaction will happen immediately. And moreover, we will be able to save a lot of cost and resources, so on, right? So say example, customer doing transaction in this shopping mall, he will be able to come to know from which palm oil plantation this palm oil is buying, since how many days it was lying up in manufacturers or refineries. The whole traction you will be able to see with scanning that barcode, and you will see complete lifeline. Why? Because all these actors are on a blockchain. So tomorrow's system will be a participating system. Tomorrow's systems will be marketplace, where palm oil plantation company, oil mill companies, refineries, manufacturers, retail outlets will be on the same chain where customer you can log in and see what is happening in the overall ecosystem, right? That is how tomorrow's system, that is how our life will be transformed, because we need trust everywhere. Say example, IBM has developed this one. You can just scan this barcode and it takes these mangoes or these oranges are coming from which farm, since how many days it was in a transit, what time it has reached to us, right? So these are all things. Similarly, this car, which is being created by a lot of IoT gadgets, and it will tell you, right? It will tell you if by mistake some accident happens. It will tell you what is the overall damage. It will calculate what all things are being damaged, right? So if a tire is damaged, if your steering is damaged, what is the cost all about? And automatically it will give a signal to the insurance company, and claim will automatically come back to your account. Why? Because all these guys are on the same blockchain network. So that is how we'll be able to achieve these things: improve productivity, simplify collaboration, remove those intermediaries, remove the corruption. This is what we have seen last 30-40 years. Provide resource savings. Don't we need all these things in the country like India? Do we need it, right? So that is how it is very, very important to adopt blockchain. So now let's talk about what is meant by blockchain, right? So what are the different types? So what I meant to say that there are three types of a blockchain ecosystem: 1.0, 2.0, 3.0. All cryptocurrencies, 70,000 cryptocurrencies are part of a blockchain. Use cases which I will build it for my banking customer, healthcare, all those enterprise use cases which will build for Indian government, agriculture, all these will come as a blockchain 2.0. 3.0 is a futuristic around metaverse, augmented reality, around dApps, which is built for edge computing, right? For your IoT devices. So that's how is a simple definition of a blockchain, how it is gonna segregate you based upon use cases. Now let's see. I'll just explain in the next 5 minutes how it works. You must have seen your banking ecosystem. Customer is coming, and say example, we have some of our customers out there, like Shweta, or we have Mr. Arijit there, and we have many more other guys. Say example, Anand Baradia, right? Anand Baradia comes and does a transaction on e-commerce site, or our friend Madhu comes, does a transaction on a postnet. So what happens? You use some card, right? And that transaction goes to the acquiring network of one bank A. Now bank A will send this message to the bank B, which is a bank B of a customer where the card is being utilized. And that happens through some association called MasterCard, NPCI, so on. Now, this is how we built our banking since so many years. And the problem of this banking is dispute management. Some transaction doesn't go through, you will call to the contact center. Payout to this merchant will happen next day through this reconciliation settlement mechanism. A lot of manual intervention, you can see, right? A lot of people around this, right? And if reversal will happen, there are a lot of challenges in the current architecture. This is how I created. But what blockchain says, come on guys, come on to my system. This is how it will be. No dispute because transaction will happen. There are no reversals. No reconciliation is required. Payout will happen on the spot. Instant payment, no manual intervention. And we will save a lot of cost. So this is how it works. For example, bank A, bank B, regulator, NPCI. This is how we will create. So this is how it will be tomorrow. Digital rupee will operate. So isn't it so beautiful, right? The way you have to create those so many servers, take those backups, take care of those disaster recovery drills, manage those hardware, softwares, and manage those IIS, WebSpheres, operating system, their upgrades, Linux, and so on, and you build just like this and save everything. Example could be like tomorrow's KYC. You have to come and do KYC with the DCB bank. You can use same KYC with the bank B, C, D, right? That because all these banks are on same chain. This is one of the projects we are driving today in India along with some banks, along with METI. That is how we will create many more use cases, right? So your life will be transformed. Bank will come up with many more business model where they want to do lower the cost, they want to do instant settlement. This is how blockchain will reduce settlement, give a trust, eliminates error handling because there is no man in between. It secures transaction, cost will be reduced, and that's how our life will be easy. So what blockchain offers? Single source of truth. It offers smart contracts for a better handshake between two systems, insurance company, bank. It offers data security. It offers decentralized mechanism, no central authority, no intermediaries. It offers zero operation, no manual interventions. It offers a multi-party trust, which was not there, which is not there in current ecosystem. That is why our life will be transformed if you go for these kind of use cases. Now find out use cases, what all. So today, blockchain is at that level. We need a lot of people to be created. Right? We need to create. So today we are attending this course to understand what is your blockchain. So your level will go up. But developers, analysts, architects, everybody has to learn blockchain so that they create systems. Blockchain, there are more than 40 fabrics like R3, Corda, Hyperledger, and we need many more. Today, how many operating systems we have? Unix, Windows, RH. Similarly, we need many more things. Interoperability between one blockchain to another blockchain, there is a challenge. We need to resolve that. Technology maturity, support of a regulation and the compliance, these are all things are required. So although I am talking a heavy thing around blockchain, it's going to change, but we need to work upon these areas also in our life, right? Now, real examples. Look at this country. This country was about to get vanished from the map. Imagine, India is getting vanished from the map. But these guys have adopted blockchain. More than 290 plus government use cases run on a blockchain in Estonia. And today, Estonia has become a template for other countries how to create blockchain use cases. Dubai is also not far behind, right? So Dubai is, all the governance is completely automated Dubai this year, last year, because of blockchain. Imagine if India transformed land registration, all those subsidies, all transaction on blockchain. we will have greater GDP. Our economy will go great at a greater level. Zero corruption, less frauds. That is how blockchain is very, very important to change our life. So there is a science behind how do we find out those use cases. Look at any ecosystem where there are a lot of fees, a lot of latency, we need data privacy, there is a lot of paperwork, multi-participants are involved. So there are this framework, like functional and technical framework, has some questions around intermediary, data security, trust, time sensitivity, authentication, and wherever you find answer yes, paper-based, you want to remove, go for blockchain. Manual reporting, you want to remove that regulatory RBI reporting, go for blockchain. High reconciliation cost, go for blockchain. So any ecosystem, go back to your application, go back to your industry and find out how many systems are being answered by this framework, and ask your team, ask your management, we need to implement blockchain right now. Your competition is with you yourself if you are not adopting blockchain. You will be wiped out if you don't adopt blockchain. Your other competition is adopting blockchain and you are not. That's a challenge. So friends, there are in a banking, you will find many more use cases, cross-border payment, or you talk about decentralized KYC, where a customer done once KYC can be utilized across any bank. Cross-border payment will be help you to do instant payments, any of the banks which are on the same chain. India's central bank digital currency in form of digital rupee. NFTs, decentralized finance, better identity, Aadhaar goes on blockchain, for example. Trade finance consumes a lot of energy cost, can come on blockchain. Safe recording, right? Record keeping your documents. Nobody should tamper those records. Let's come on blockchain. Syndicated lending, right? We have seen a lot of frauds. Lending happens for one customer and that customer becomes NPA. We have seen. So that can be handled with the blockchain. Peer-to-peer payment, like in form of a Bitcoin can come on blockchain. Complete fraud management, regulatory reporting, right? All these use cases slowly has to come on blockchain. I can talk many more use cases, right? Invoice discounting, account aggregation, which India talking, banking uptime. If system goes down, immediately report to RBI. Field inspection, which happens against some kind of a trust, whether that asset is still there or not, for which we have taken a loan, given a loan. Many more use cases counts on blockchain, at least in the banking area, and we'll have better operations and better cost savings and so on. As I explained this in this example. So any organization want to adopt blockchain, they have to go with the steps. First of all, understand what is my blockchain. Create internal readiness. Teach your management what is my blockchain. Then identify similar companies who are part of in your arena. Like I will be able to identify other blockchain companies, right? So that's how it is. So okay, so what is blockchain all about? Blockchain is a technology like internet, and it has a smart trust built as it is. Say example, this is a blockchain-based system. What does it mean? Customer coming in to a bank and completing his KYC, and that KYC data is replicated to all the actors, all the other banks, because they are on part of a blockchain ecosystem. Customer goes to open another bank account to HDFC Bank. HDFC Bank just asks him a number, and all the KYC will be fetched. Why? Because all these actors on the same chain. So what is the blockchain? Blockchain is a technology which brings like-minded parties together to perform the operations with a better trust, right? Which is the next internet. Internet don't have a trust kind of a mechanism. It provides a trust, provided how we work together and so on. If you talk about many more other use cases everywhere, real estate, healthcare, insurance, professional things, everywhere you will find a lot of use cases, right? Most of the use cases are in financial ecosystems. So this is one of the use case where with the income tax department, submission of the form 26 is, if you do with one bank, you don't have to redo it from other banks. Income tax will fetch it for other banks. Or you talk about cross-border payment, which is with a Ripple. It's very instant. This particular company, which is coming up, this is in the one example which I was talking about, a decentralized KYC. Japan is already implemented this use case. So customer coming and creating a KYC at bank can be utilized by other banks. Complete banking is created on a blockchain, or a supply chain on blockchain. Like this, complete supply chain can come on blockchain. Complete school system is on blockchain. All traceability on every asset you want to buying, selling can come on blockchain. For example, Everledger is a company, they have done this tracking of a diamond on blockchain. Boeing has created a supply chain ecosystem. Every part of a Boeing gives a message. I'm going to expire on this date. That message goes back to the supplier, supplier comes and replace that part. Why? Because all the actors, all the parties, supplier, Boeing, that IoT device are on the blockchain. Tomorrow's energy grids are going to be on blockchain. Any content created by any creator or a writer, and whatever utilization happens by publishers, listener, immediate payout will happen to the writer. Today it is not happening. There is a lot of corruption in content writing and so on in the media and entertainment. So tomorrow's system will on blockchain ease out payouts. One of the biggest use case which we have seen in Indian ecosystem is a telecom coming on blockchain. So every SMS today you are receiving from every bank is coming through blockchain ecosystem. That is why you will see less messages are coming to you. Otherwise, you will receive so many messages these days, right? So telecoms are adopting blockchain heavily. Trade finance on blockchain. You talk about a complete DevOps can come on blockchain. Agriculture on blockchain, from a farmer till how we can really see how we can get a funding through the blockchain-based ecosystems. Supply chain, I spoke. IoT on blockchain. Your birth records, healthcare, starting from birth till your current life, every incident of your health can come out of the health kind of ecosystem. And that's how we'll see some of these use cases, like trading energy on blockchain. A complete smart city can come on blockchain. All the services, like we have seen Dubai, right, completely coming on blockchain. Insurance, payouts to the investments for every startups. Your networks can be secure on blockchain. I think so. That's all about, right? So every ecosystem you will see around you will slowly get on to blockchain. So today we are talking on blockchain. Maybe after 10 years we'll not talk about blockchain. Do we talk about PTMs? Do we talk about internet, emails, and so on? Those were innovations which we have seen 25 years before. Today we talk about business model riding on internet. Similarly, we'll talk about various business models riding on a blockchain kind of a technology. And to do that, we need a lot of collaboration at a national level. We need academia to come and work together so that more and more students know blockchain. We need technology companies to nurture their capability on blockchain delivery. We need MPC, IDRBT, everything should have some kind of a standardization in calculation, which is already happening. We need more and more fabrics like Hyperledger, Ethereum. We need startup ecosystem to be boosted. So I think we need a kind of a national task force to bring on a blockchain kind of ecosystem. I think recently India has announced national strategy. Many governments are announcing their national strategy, which are working primarily around use cases for that country, technology for that country. How do we create academia adoption on a blockchain? How do we have a better regulation compliance for a cryptos kind of a ecosystem? How do we accelerate? And how do we have a better consortium kind of a network consortium kind of a use cases, right? So that's all briefly. I just wanted to talk about a blockchain, how it can be really helpful for us. So thank you so much, everybody out here listening me carefully. Unless we have any questions, thank you so much for inviting me here. Yeah.
Thank you, sir, for that very insightful and interesting presentation. I think blockchain has been that one wonder word which we keep hearing, and your presentation was extremely lucid to give us a lot of clarity with regard to this emerging technology. So there's a question which I have, and also it's come in the chat, which is, to what extent have blockchain technologies been adopted in Indian banks and financial institutions as well as manufacturing companies?
Yeah, so if you talk about adoption, NPCI, which is National Payment Corporation of India, they have worked upon a Vajra ecosystem to reduce the settlement cycle. I was talking about remove, but we cannot do this change overnight, right? So how NPCI beautifully done it, let's go slowly, steadily. So that's the adoption. Emirates, NBT, ICICI, they do this cross-border payment on blockchain. At a DCB bank, opening a bank ATM, right? So it's on blockchain, the process which you are doing. Inspection process where we have, say example, I have given a loan to Miss Shweta and I have to go and see whether that asset is there or not. The whole inspection process requires manual visit, right? And a lot of corruption happens in that process. So what we have built in the complete, the process, we keep it transparent and we block it in the blockchain so that anybody should not tamper the data, right? Similarly, we are talking about a decentralized KYC. KYC of, say example, Prasanna with the DCB bank. Prasanna goes to SDC bank. I just have to give a number, and that with that number, SDC will fetch out the data from that blockchain, which is an actual KYC because nobody has tampered that KYC. We can reutilize that KYC again and again. Today, for a bank to create a KYC, it takes 5,000 to 6,000 rupees for one customer. And if you want that customer to go to another bank, again, India has to invest another 5,000 to 6,000 rupees for the same customer. Why to do that, right? So now look at that kind of ecosystem. So use cases are coming in on a blockchain side. The supply chain, many companies are doing on a blockchain kind of a thing, right? Bosch is doing so. If I talk about more use cases on blockchain, AML, KYC, fraud reports by one bank immediately available to that fraud details to another bank so that they should not have that ambiguity of Nero Modi kind of a use cases. Complete trade finance is going to come on blockchain. Cross-border payment, which takes 3 to 14 days. With the blockchain, it will happen instantaneously. That is why CBDC is very, very important for us, right? So these are all various use cases we'll really see and so on. Now there is one more question. Blockchain is very energy sensitive and it needs to be redesigned. Now, if you go back to one of my slides, which talks about a blockchain 1.0, 2.0, 3.0, 2.0 and 3.0 are not energy sensitive because those are agreed private network. We need a lot of energy to create the consensus mechanism. Say example, if you talk about cryptocurrency, primarily Ethereum and Bitcoin, and whole of your 61% of a cryptocurrency is governed by these two cryptocurrencies, and it requires a lot of power, electrical power, because they need that consensus, right? And as they will move further, they will add many more nodes and more power will be utilized because that's how they are designed. They are not thought of that kind of architecture. But as a bank, as a regulator, as an enterprise use cases, we have an opportunity to create our own blockchains and with a less of energy. That's how we look at it, right? I know a few of the blockchain companies who operate without these kind of challenges. So that is how remember the slide 1.0, 2.0, 3.0. For our Indian citizen, we need 2.0 and 3.0 use cases. We do not need blockchain 1.0. Yeah.
I think on the chat also I find a similar question. I think you've already answered.
Yeah, I just read that and I just
because I think you already answered that question. Somebody is asking which are companies which are helping in implementing blockchain technologies in India. If you have any.
Yeah, so when I started my journey way back in 2015, there were hardly 10, 12 companies, okay, on the blockchain side. But today, I think you will see every company who provides software service are adopting blockchain. Infosys, TCS, Accenture, everybody is now investing into blockchain. That's the one part. Many startups, right? I can name 200 plus startups sustained since last 2 to 3 years are on blockchain. So that's a adoption we have seen, right? And this, I think, if you heard about this Polygon, is an Indian company, right? And they started in 2017, and now they are sitting on 10,000 plus employees worldwide. Most of the applications are built on Polygon now, right? So there are many more such companies. Origraph, you talk about Wall, you talk about Ironworks, there are many more companies now arise. And why I'm saying is that tomorrow is Oracle. Today it's RDBMS. Tomorrow it will be called as a smart RDB because it is built on blockchain. So every system will be needing some trust and will transfer on blockchain. Makes sense for every team. The way, see, every company is now understanding databases, right? Or web. So there is no way out to go away from blockchain. It's a part of your ecosystem. So if you talk about the overall ecosystem which you build, it will have some front end in form of a mobile phone, mobility, or IoT, or metaverse. And it will talk to the backend, which is your smart database on blockchain through APIs or a smart contracts or a automation. What does it mean? Every company who is providing services to them, they have to adopt blockchain also. So that's in a nutshell, everybody. But there are most of the companies are now doing well in Tech Mahindra. Tech Mahindra is recently announced as a top 50 company in the world consecutively for 2 years. That's how they are driving blockchain. Infosys have done so many things. TCS. There are new companies are coming in this market. I must say that we have opportunity to create another Microsoft like a company now. Like Polygon has done since last 4 years. They are now search it out. How many more use cases they are going to build, right? That's the opportunity. Yeah.
So one question, one of the reasons why blockchain came so much into focus was also because of the huge value addition or the huge price increase in Bitcoin. Would you kindly elucidate why cryptocurrency appears to be so risky, even though its backbone is blockchain technology? Any guidance on this?
Can you just repeat?
I'm saying one of the reasons how blockchain got into focus worldwide was because of the stratospheric rise in the price of Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Why is even though the underlying technology is blockchain, why is cryptocurrency still considered extremely as a risky investment, for example?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's a volatile, right? It's a very volatile market. If you look at, there are 17,000 cryptos. Tomorrow, Mr. Rishabh and myself can start our coin, MCCI coin, and we'll say, this is how, please come and invest into that. Is there any use case? No use case. But fear of missing out, right? Fear of missing out, that is why people are investing. Say example, our friend of Elon Musk has announced Dogecoin, I invested so much. So out of anxiety, everybody started investing, right? And if you look at how many people are investing compared to 17, these days, CoinDCS, everybody is giving some ads, right? Which regulator said them in one of the forum, right? Please stop that, and it is stopped. So it is all your game, right? There is no science behind why do we invest into cryptocurrency, unless there are some projects. Now in the cryptocurrency, there are different types of currencies, tokens, or you talk about the coins, stable coins, you talk utility tokens and security tokens. So utility and security tokens has some kind of a use case, wherein you can say that I am going to create milk coin, it will be operated in milk. There you can see. But most of the cryptos, so typically 60-65% market is covered by Bitcoin and Ethereum, hardly any use case, unless Ethereum is now doing a lot of NFT kind of use cases. Now going forward, again coming back to your original question, why it is it not advised? Because it is not regulated. There is no law out there, at least in India. There are regulations outside of India, Japan, Hong Kong, Malta, everywhere. So there you will get some kind of a legal support. But in Indian constitution, if you go to the police station by saying, this is my Bitcoin, I lost it, nobody is supporting you. But rather than they will guide you, we were already saying it is not a legal tender. And that is why it's recently, just to control, budget has also announced, right? Some tax, 30% tax, 1% for tax for transactions and so on. So you need to see beauty of the technology and how we can utilize it for day-to-day purpose, right? It is not happening. Whenever it will happen, automatically it will go to the next level, right? But the way it is happening, trillions or billions of money being vested, right? Because it's growing. So fear of missing it out, it's an immediate gain happens, right? That's how people look at it, right? But tell me a man on this forum will tell I have invested and I'm profitable, right? It is not for day-to-day people, right, who do the transactions. So it is for them who are already into trading, this and that, right? So I will not personally advise to get into this unless India comes and says this is a regulation, clear regulation, which will help every citizens out there, right? Where we will have use cases. Now, same technology, CBDC, digital rupee, giving same kind of benefits ahead of a crypto. Bitcoin, Milcoin will cross-border payments, and we'll be able to do many more things, right? And it is helpful for every citizen. So I think that's how we have to look at this whole thing, right? And use your own brain and move ahead. You have appetite, go for it. If you don't have appetite, please stick to your basics. Yeah, that's how.
So thank you. We've taken up a lot of your time, but I will request you to just answer one last question. I know it's almost an hour since you've been on this webinar. And the question is, sir, there is a lot of concern regarding privacy issues with respect to blockchain.
Yeah.
Because companies need to maintain their brand value at all cost, as well as there is sensitive information which is being stored. So could you kindly touch upon this issue of privacy, which is also a raging debate with respect to blockchain?
Okay, so now again, I'll go back and say blockchain 1.0, 2.0, 3.0. It all tells about how privacy is going to handle. Whenever we will create our own use case, so banks are, say example, banks are regulated entities. They take care of the data. Every transaction is a data privacy, right? Encryptions, OTPs, right? So there are so many things we handle. Every data in the database of a bank is encrypted. We follow all those guidelines. Security, data privacy. Tomorrow you'll bring anything on blockchain, it will be have a data privacy. Now go back in blockchain 1.0, which is not regulated, so we cannot say that it is secure. Talk about crypto exchange. Do they have any regulation says that you should follow this PCI DSS certification, you should follow this ISMS certification? So obviously the question will come around data privacy. So that's a simple answer. Now going back to the fundamentals. Fundamental says blockchain is a far more secure than any of the other internet-based ecosystem. Now, how do we design it is very, very important. So the way we'll design, the data privacy will be taken care of with the help of a blockchain, right? So that's a simple thing. I cannot say that it's a foolproof. If you design bad design, smart contract will take out the money, right? If you say your private key is open on internet, it will be vanished, right? So design is also another thing to taken care while you design, develop, deploy blockchain on use cases. Always remember these three things: 1.0, 2.0, 3.0. 2.0 is something all about for us, and it will take care of us, and it will transform our human life. 1.0, unless there is some regulation, we don't have to worry about it. We are far happy with what we have. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. That's all from our side. We're really grateful to you for this very, very insightful session and giving us all your time today. And I will now request Mr. Samajit Mitra, our co-chairman, Council of Banking and Finance, to kindly propose a word of thanks. Over to you, Samajit Da.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, thank you so much, Mr. Lohar. You have done almost the impossible across, because you have, in this short span of time, described the ocean which blockchain has and where we are moving to in such lucid form. We are very grateful to you, Shri Prasanna Lohar, Chief Innovation Officer, DCB Bank. Thank you for being with us in this chamber. Thank you so much, Mr. President, for creating these knowledge sessions, which is possibly the way forward for India and for the world at large and for business in general. We have this afternoon created a new first, creation of looking ahead with a lot of introspection as well as caution and knowledge at tomorrow. Thank you so much for the participants for being here, and also to the press for giving us their normal support, which we have always enjoyed from you. Shall we raise a huge applause for the speakers and to all of us here, and specifically to a better tomorrow. Thank you so much. Thank you, Mr. Lohar. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you.